Well, good evening, Derby fans and addicts. Welcome to the hangar at Oaks Amusement Park. We've got a great bout lined up for you tonight as the Guns N' Rollers take on the Breakneck Betties. Tonight's bout is a battle for second place as each team comes into the bout with one win and one loss. Moreover, this is the last bout of the regular home season, which will set the last two seedings for the semifinals coming up soon. The action on the track should be amazing, and we will get it underway shortly. But first, if I could ask you to please rise for the national anthem. This evening's guest singer is Miss Trina LeBrassiere.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Woo!
Thank you, Miss Trina. Joining me on the microphone this evening is the most caffeinated announcer in all of roller derby, Randy Pan.
Meh.
And joining us shortly, the King.
Much.
Now, fans, could you please put your derby-loving hands together for tonight's referee and non-skating officials, headed by Oedipus Ref.
What you do? What you do? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? We should get into queue at Bad Boys next time.
All right, with that bit of business taken care of, let's bring out tonight's two teams. First up, decked out in their black uniforms with pink trim, the hardest rocking team in Derby. Give it up for the Guns N' Rollers! Playing tonight for the Guns N' Rollers, number 120. On rhythm guitar, Super Six Pack. Number 1221 on the 6-string bass, it's Roller Eclipse. Number 21 on the saxophone, it's Untamed Shrew. Number 29 on the ukulele, it's Artemis Foulmouth. Number 2L8 on tambourine, Dirty and Rotten. Number 32G on the French horn, Va Va Boom. Number 37 on the cowbell, Henri O'Hooligan. Number 419, the captain on lead guitar and vocals, that's Juvie Hall. Number 480 on the trumpet, Harajuku Girl. Number 50 and co-captain on the bass guitar and vocals, Skull Eagle. Number 6 on the trombone, it's Squid Vicious. Number 66 on the drums is Brady Punch. Number 69 on the xylophone, Sugar and Vice. Number 73 on the upright bass, Frankenherder. Number 81 on the keyboards, Havana Good Time. And number 889 on the glockenspiel, it's Scout's Honor. The Guns and Rollers are coached by Baxter Morgan and Bleedem and Reap. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your Guns and Rollers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to take on the Portland 500. They've got their engines revving. They're about to release the clutch. Give it up for the Breakneck Betties. Tonight, driving the Thunderbird, number 00 megahertz. Rocking the Chevelle, number 10, lead speaking missile. Rolling in the GTO, number 1337, lethal. In the Mustang, number 1719, Scylla Devourer. In the Camaro, number 18, Frisky Sour. Rocking the Charger, number 184, Winnie the Pow. Soaring in the Tempest, number 20, Sulfuric Acid. Cruising in the Bel Air, number 222, the Princess Snide. Rolling in the T-Bird, number 2x4, Deconstructor. In the Impala, number 360, Joyride. Cruising the Firebird, number 94, Scrappy Go Lucky. Of course, she's in the snowmobile. That's K2 Avalanche. And who else would be in the Cadillac but Cadillac number V8? In the Snowcat XOX Northern Lights Out. And your captains tonight in the Challenger number 201, Push Latush. And of course, cruising the convertible, number 51, Shove Me Tender. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Breakneck Betties! Coached tonight by Determinator and Marilyn Monroe. Well, the skaters are ready to go. Y'all ready for some derby, ladies and gentlemen?
Looks like the Betties are ready for some derby, Randy.
Yeah, they're not messing around. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a barometer really. Who is brand new to the sport of roller derby? Please put your hands in the air if you are brand new to the sport of roller derby. Refs, put them down. Skaters, oh, we have vets tonight. We have all vets tonight. All right. Well, give yourself a round of applause, Derby fans. Thanks for coming back out. So it should be no surprise to see sulfuric acid jamming for the Breakneck Betties there.
Scald Eagle with the jam cap for the Guns and Rollers.
Sulfuric acid is first out. She is a jammer. She has the opportunity to score points for every opponent she laps.
Scald Eagle out of the pack as well on her initial pass.
Quick 4 points for sulfuric acid. She was lead jammer because she was first to the pack legally, so she got to call off the jam as she scored those points.
Okay. Squid Vicious on the jam line for the Guns and Rollers.
And that's Joyride on the Ron Tonkin Fiat jammer line there. 2 heavy walls to contend with so far, Mike checks.
Squid Vicious fighting against that front wall of 4 Betties blockers out in the front of the pack.
Nice defense from both teams here so far. Remember, the first pass through, no points, but it determines who lead jammer is.
And lead jammer determined by the first jammer to get through the pack completely legally, Randy Pan.
And then they have the power to stop the jam at any point. Both jammers can still score, though.
Shove Me Tender out front, fighting against Squid Vicious, but Squid Vicious picks up lead jammer status for the Guns and Rollers.
Joyride makes it right past Frankenherder, and she is right past her. This is going to be another quick jam here, Mike checks.
Well, speaking of quick, look at the pace of that pack right now.
It's very, very quick there, and it's in the Betty's favor. They want to race it so to prevent Squid from scoring any points. 0-0, ladies and gentlemen. Fist in the air for ref solidarity.
No score on that jam.
That is megahertz on the Ron Tonkin Fiat jammer line for the Breakneck Betties.
Opposite Scald Eagle for the Guns and Rollers. And again, the jammers released quickly. Randy Pannon, Scald Eagle through the pack first. She is your lead jammer.
No points on that first pass, but she can stop the jam at any time. This is a big advantage for GNR. That's a powerful GNR 4-wall in the front there, Mike checks.
Megahertz still battling against those Guns and Rollers blockers on her initial pass.
Scald Eagle is now on her scoring pass. She gets a point for every blocker she passes.
And not only does she get a point for every blocker that she passed, she also gets a point for lapping the Betty's jammer. That's a 5-point pass for Scald Eagle. Lead change already early in this bout, Randy.
We call that a grand slam. Huge takedown on megahertz there.
That was a grand slam in and of itself.
And megahertz has to make it out the pack in order to start scoring points.
Nice
Meanwhile,
defense up front by Havana Good Time. Scald Eagle trying to fight her way through the front of that pack.
nice inside pass there. 5 more points, 1 for every skater she passed.
Cadillac and Havana Good Time battling it out in the front of the pack. Megahertz still working on her initial pass.
Oh, Scald Eagle got caught up on her own skater there, so that's not a penalty.
Scouts on her, though, with a nice defensive maneuver against Megahertz as Scald Eagle coming around again.
Scald Eagle just soared through that wall, opened up and slalomed through those skaters.
Breakfast for 3 so far, 3 grand slams for Scald Eagle.
I like that, breakfast for 3. Scald Eagle and another scoring pass gets through that wall. 20 points.
Make it a 4-top, a 20-point effort for Scald Eagle and the Guns and Rollers. Team timeout being called by the Breakneck Betties.
What's the butt rock shout out?
Coming back. Okay. That team timeout was brought to you by.
Was brought to you by Home of Butt Rock or whatever.
Rock on, gentlemen.
Everyone in the internet can hear what we just said. Hi there. You're getting a behind-the-scenes look at how announcing works. I hope you're enjoying it.
We'd like to remind you all that the Brew is the sponsor of all your team timeouts. It's a station where butt rock never died. That's the Brew.
Ladies and gentlemen, penalties are already setting up a huge advantage for Guns N' Rollers. Remember, when you go to the penalty box, no one fields your position on the track. So right now we have a 42 blocker advantage. But if I was going to put 2 blockers out there, it would be Scylla Devour and Cadillac. Mike checks.
Agreed, Randy Pan. Scrappy Go Lucky and Lead Speaking Missile currently in the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box. The penalties they serve are 1 minute apiece. They go to the box, they feel shame.
And then they feel shame. At Super Six-Pack jamming for the Guns N' Rollers.
Sulfuric Acid smartly playing defense for the Breakneck Betties right there, helping her 2 blockers, trying to hold back Super Six-Pack.
Super Six-Pack had a minor forearm. She engaged to someone with a minor forearm, not enough to go to the penalty box, but enough to make her not lead jammer.
Sulfuric Acid out on her initial pass. She is your lead jammer.
She's going in for a scoring pass, so both jammers can score points by passing their opponents right now. Mike checks.
Scylla Devour playing truck and trailer off a Cadillac, trying to hold back Super Six-Pack.
Super Six-Pack gets out for a 4-point scoring pass. She got the blockers that she passed, plus the skaters in the penalty box as well.
Sulfuric Acid makes her way around Juvie Hall and decides to call off the jam. 3 points for her effort.
Vita Cafe, super tasty vegetarian and vegan food for thought. Go on down to the Vita Cafe.
Squid Vicious taking to the jam line for the Guns N' Rollers.
Along with Fantastic Joyride jamming for the Breakneck Betties.
Breakneck Betty setting up shop in the front of the pack. Squid Vicious gets around, shove me tender. Squid Vicious is your lead jammer.
And it looks like reinforcements arrive for the Breakneck Betties. Joyride has to contend that incredible 4-wall of GNR right now. Mike checks.
That is a swarming 4-wall up front by the Guns N' Rollers. That's Brady Punch and Havana Good Time out front with help from Roller Eclipse and Scouts Honor.
Joyride hit to the outside by Brady Punch, forcing her to come in behind her so she does not get a cutting the track penalty. Remember, if you pass other players out of bounds, you will go to the penalty box for a minute and feel shame.
Joyride still working on her initial pass. Brady Punch and Roller Eclipse cycling back up front.
Squid Vicious finds an opening around the outside. 5 points for GNR.
Guns N' Rollers with some amazing swarming defense up at the front of the pack. Still Randy Pan.
Absolutely. Good hammer and nail, good recycling. And they're doing a good job of staying up front.
Squid Vicious pushed to the inside by Shove Me Tender, regroups.
Looks like that was a major forearm there.
And Squid Vicious through the pack for 4 more points for the Guns N' Rollers as she calls off the jam. King?
Lloyd's Athletic Club, the official sports fitness facility of the Rose City Rollers. That's Lloyd's Athletic Club.
Scald Eagle returns to the jam line for the Guns N' Rollers.
As does sulfuric acid. For the Breakneck Betties. So the jam has started. So we have a destruction of pack penalty if you split apart the pack intentionally. Untamed Shrew will go to the penalty box for a minute for that.
Joyride through the pack, sulfuric acid through the pack first. She is your lead jammer.
Havilab behind. That is Scald Eagle flying through on Wings of Grace. Hit to the inside, but sulfuric acid calls off the jam, the benefit of being lead jammer.
Big brothers and big sister sports buddies, Rose City Rollers is proud to be a sports buddy partner, encouraging young people to get out and get active. That's the Big Brothers and Big Sisters sports buddies.
Cadillac sent to the penalty box at the end of that last jam. She picked up her 4th minor penalty.
If you're a Squid Vicious fan, then get ready to shed a tear. This is her last bout with the Rose City Rollers, so give Squid Vicious some love, people.
Deconstructor pushed to the outside of the far straightaway by Juvie Hall.
Blocker advantage 3-2 currently in favor of Guns N' Rollers.
And it's Deconstructor through the pack first. She is your lead jammer.
Squid Vicious sent to the back. A incredible blocker contingent of Scylla Devour, Scrappy Go Lucky, and Lead Speaking Missile.
Forearm major picked up by Squid Vicious. That's going to put the Breakneck Betties in a power jam, Randy Pan.
And that's going to give Deconstructor 4 points on that pass. Deconstructor slides through on the outside. 5-point grand slam for the Breakneck Betties. Mike checks.
Scrappy Go Lucky back to the penalty box for the Breakneck Betties. Deconstructor looking to try and get through that pack on another scoring pass, Randy.
Oh, nice catch there by Juvie Hall and nice bridging by the Guns N' Rollers. Remember, you cannot block 20 feet in front of or behind the pack. You have to let the jammer go or pick up a minute penalty.
5-point grand slam for Deconstructor. She works her way through the pack once again.
Nice defense set up front, but Cadillac with some great offense.
And Deconstructor calls off the jam. King, what do you got for us?
OHSU Sports Medicine. Visit OHSUSportsMedicine.com for injury prevention, sports safety information, and community athlete profiles, including posts by your very own Rose City Rollers. That's the OHSU Sports Medicine.
Well, Randy Pan, it looks like there's an official timeout down on the floor.
I think, and I'm not sure, but I think the referees want to see the Magic Pony power section dancing. I think that's what this... There's a late 4th minor. Minors are penalties that don't have as much impact. If you get 4 of them, you go to sit in the penalty box for a minute. And it's going to be on Deconstructor, the jammer, so we'll have a nice little handoff. But we do want more dancing from the Magic Pony penalty section.
I'd always like to take this opportunity to remind you all to get your raffle tickets. Tonight's fabulous prizes are a $100 gift certificate to European Wax and a $25 gift certificate for Nightlight Lounge.
Well, Randy Pan, we're going to start this jam with no jammers on the track.
So as soon as the jammer whistle is released, Squid Vicious, who is in the penalty box first, gets released, and then Deconstructor will serve as much time as Squid Vicious did.
Scouts on her up, trying to open up that inside rail for Squid Vicious.
Nice defense up front. Breakneck Betty's wanting to race the pack to prevent.
Brady Punch being assessed a low block major. She is headed to the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box.
Nice defense from the Betties right now, staying up front, keeping the pace fast to make it harder on Squid to get through. She's on her initial pass, so she's not in a scoring possession yet, Mike checks.
No, excellent defense. Megahertz, a great hit in turn 4.
Lead jammer Deconstructor.
Out of the penalty box and back onto the track, quickly through the pack. Squid Vicious gonna reload, trying to attack that pack one more time.
Oh, nice! Outside, takes the hit, but keeps on ticking. 5 more points for the Breakneck Betties. It's a 5-point bout, Mike checks.
Megahertz has just had Squid Vicious's number this jam, Randy.
Well, Betties have some incredible defense here, and we are seeing evidence of that right now. We also saw a back block there by Frisky Sour. Apparently Squid was upset about all the megahertz.
Deconstructor through the pack one more time. That's another 5-point grand slam.
That's a tie bout, ladies and gentlemen.
One of the King's favorite places to eat is the Delta Cafe. Amazing Southern fare, big eats, and stiff drinks. Go on down to the Delta Cafe.
I will, King. You made that sound delicious. We have 2 things going on right now, Mike checks. We have a 4-2 blocker advantage for the Guns N' Rollers, and we have Scald Eagle jamming for them.
Holy cow, Randy Pan. Absolutely amazing. Scald Eagle is your lead jammer.
There's some great defensive jamming from sulfuric acid. Taking down Scald Eagle. That's not a sentence you hear too often, Mike checks.
Fans fist in the air for ref solidarity.
Fist in the air for ref solidarity. 0-0 jam. Let's see it, ladies and gentlemen. Fists in the air for ref solidarity. If your neighbor's not putting their fist up, make them.
Medical Massage Northwest happily rubbing away the aches and pains of the Rose City Rollers. Medical Massage Northwest.
So the jam has started. We got 2-2 in the pack here.
Joyride jamming for the Breakneck Betty. Scald Eagle with the jam cap for the Guns N' Rollers.
Wasn't Scald Eagle just jamming? Inside pass there. Scald Eagle lead jammer.
Right on her heels, though. Joyride also out of the pack on her initial pass.
When you have a small pack like that, it's easy to push the speed. And it looks like Guns N' Rollers are doing that.
That's Brady Punch and Frankenherder out there. Scald Eagle gets through the pack, picks up 4 points.
3 points picked up by the Breakneck Betties.
Bridgetown Chiropractic, the official bone cracker of the Rose City Rollers since 2006. Bridgetown Chiropractic.
Untamed Shrew jamming for the Guns N' Rollers.
Deconstructor jamming for the Breakneck Betties. I should say lead jamming for the Breakneck Betties. Nice defense from Scrappy Go Lucky at the front there, Mike checks.
Untamed Shrew, though, finally gets around her. She is clear on her initial pass and giving up about half a track to Deconstructor.
Not to put too fine a point, but it's a 1-point bout. Deconstructor passes one, gets 3 points there. Lead change, Betty's take it back.
Portland Mercury, the food, arts, and entertainment news you need. Pick up a copy of the Portland Mercury.
I will.
There's a lot of people on the track right now, Randy Pan.
It's kind of weird. It's because no one's in the penalty box. I'm as confused as you are. Brave punch hit, so fair gas to the outside, forcing her to the back.
Scald Eagle jamming for the Guns N' Rollers. Both jammers trying to fight their way through this pack.
Hop, skip, and a jump into lead jammer for so fair gas on the inside.
Scald Eagle fighting against the Betty's 3-wall at the front of the pack.
Looks like Mega Hurt, shot me tender. She gets past. Initial pass, no points yet.
Sulfuric acid makes her way through the pack. That's a 4-point pass, and she calls off the jam. King?
OHSU Sports Medicine is proud to be the official medical care team of the Rose City Rollers. Receive next day medical care by using our sports medicine hotline 494-4000. OHSU Sports Medicine.
Once again, a lot of skaters out there.
That's Joyride jamming for the Breakneck Betties and Super 6-pack for the Guns N' Rollers.
And that's 2 4-walls, but on the inside, Super 6-pack, lead jammer for Guns N' Rollers.
Havana Good Time cycles up front, last line of defense. Joyride gets by her on her initial pass.
Breakneck Betty's trying to form up their defense, and they do a good job of getting to the front. That's where you want to be if you do not have the lead jammer.
Super 6-pack trying to make inroads through that pack.
Betty's controlling the pace. They push the speed. And we have a 4th minor picked up by Super 6-pack. The jam is still going. That's a 4-point scoring pass. So we had some confusion there.
I'm going to guess there will be an official timeout, Randy Pan.
That's a safe bet. I'm going to guess I probably don't have to go down there. So what happened, ladies and gentlemen, is it looked like one team thought that the jam was over. They field skaters. The referees have to call off the jam if there's interference on the track, which there was. So the referee did what they have to do right there. Calling out the jam because GNR stepped onto the track. So it was a legit call-off. We'll see what happens with the score. But in the meantime, King, entertain us.
Joe's Burgers. For locations, awesome burgers, and the official feeder of the Rose City Rollers Volunteers. Grab yourself a bunch of Joe's Burgers. During this official timeout, I'd like to say a couple of thanks to the following sponsors: Fat Lip Industries, Mike Thrasher Presents, Hammy's Pizza, and Portland Vital Signs.
All right, so what happened was GNR, thinking the jam had ended, fielded a new team, but the jam didn't end. What happened was Guns N' Rollers' skater went to the penalty box. It was one whistle that was blown, not four, so the jam was still going. Because there was too many skaters on the track, the referees had to call off the jam. You have to call it off that there's too much interference. They are now assessing what and if a penalty should be assessed. I will check in as soon as that happens. In the meantime, I want to hear from the Magic Pony Power section. Where you at, Magic Pony Power section? You know, you're awful quiet tonight for being the Magic Pony Power section. Normally you're a lot more crazy and loud. Let me hear from you. I don't think they know they're part of the Magic Pony Power section over here, so we're going to do something. I'm going to have you all say Magic Pony, and then you have to say Power section, all right? On three. 1, 2, 3. Magic Pony Power section. Magic Pony Power section. One more time. Magic Pony Power section. Okay. So for everybody else, I want everybody on this side to say everybody, and then over here, else. 1, 2, 3. Everybody else. Everybody else. Everybody else. So we all know who we are. We're up to speed. We'll check in with you in a bit.
I'd like to also give you a quick reminder. We've got a raffle coming up at halftime. Make sure you get your tickets. Tickets are only $1 a piece or $10 for $5. Tonight's fabulous prize is a $100 European wax. That's a whole lot of waxing going on. We also have another drawing for a Leatherman tool and a $25 Nightlight gift certificate. So make sure you get your raffle tickets now, and we're going to be drawing those at halftime.
Those ticket prices good no matter which section of the hangar you're sitting in.
All right, we're going to have a little dance contest. So I want the Magic Pony Power section to be doing the robot right now. You don't have to get up. I just want to see everybody do their robot. Magic Pony Power section's doing the robot. Everybody else doing the wave, okay? Wave versus robot. All right, this is bananas. So everyone from GNR who came on out the track is going to have to serve a major penalty. So they have to be on the track and make sure they're coming through. Remember, you can't have more than 2 blockers in the penalty box at a time, so they have to keep cycling through until all those skaters that came onto the track, forcing the jam called off, to take a minute in the penalty box. Oh my goodness. Okay, you've had a chance to practice. Let me see your robot. I want to see you guys over here. You're being really quiet. I want to see your robot. You got to live up to the Magic Pony Power section. They're letting you down. All right, let me see everybody else's wave. Where's your wave at? I got 4 people from everybody else doing the wave. Oh, here it is. You got some work to do. Coach yourselves. We're almost ready. I promise you. All right, game on. This will be a very confusing couple of jams. Bear with us.
All right, well, Randy Pan, if I counted correctly, there are going to be 72 major penalties served by the Guns N' Rollers over the course of the next 2 jams.
Give or take 1 or 2.
And we might have another one.
Deconstructor, lead jammer. We're just going to call him as we see him, ladies and gentlemen.
Deconstructor through the pack. That's a 5-point grand slam for the Breakneck Betties.
Forearm for Frankenherder. The penalty box is full of a bunch of people who went out on the track earlier. Ooh. No, she's getting waved back on.
It was only a minor cut. She only cut 1 skater. That was a minor penalty. That's why she's being waved back onto the track.
And she's still lead.
And she's still scoring points.
And she's caught up behind Juvie Hall, who's out of play.
That's 5 more points for Deconstructor on another grand slam.
The Super Six-Pack's back from her penalty. She picked up a 4th minor at the end of the previous jam. She wasn't serving time for any of those shenanigans. Deconstructor calls it just as her reinforcements come to the track. King!
Sock Dreams, unique, sexy, comfy socks for the roller girl and everyone. Check out their new Rose City Roller Socks. That's Sock Dreams.
Few more penalties to go. Oh, around the outside, sulfuric acid lead jammer, Mike checks.
Well, color me surprised, Randy Pan. Untamed Shrew still fighting against that Betty's defense. Remember, they have all 4 blockers out there on the track.
And GNR only have 2, and they're only going to have 2 for a while here, Mike checks.
Guns N' Rollers going to attempt to weather this storm. Squid Vicious trying to help out Untamed Shrew.
Inside, hop, skip, and a jump. Easy lane made by her blockers. 5 more points for the Breakneck Betties.
Untamed Shrew trying to fight her way through that pack once again. That's Scylla Devourer and Scrappy Go Lucky at the front of the pack holding her back.
Nice offensive block from Cadillac. Opening up a hole there for sulfuric acid, who picks up a 5th point for passing Untamed Shrew, who just got out on her initial pass.
Sulfuric Acid calling off that jam after picking up 3 more points for the Breakneck Betties. King?
Big brothers and big sister sports buddies, encouraging young people to get out and get active. That's the Big Brothers, Big Sisters Sports Buddies.
Skull Eagle up at the Ron Tonkin Fiat jammer line.
Guns N' Rollers surprisingly starting this jam with a 4-2 blocker disadvantage.
That is Harajuki Girl and Andrea Hooligan.
And it's Joyride, your lead jammer for the Breakneck Betties.
Scald Eagle opens up a lane to the inside. Initial pass for Guns N' Rollers. Swing and a miss. Joyride with the scoring pass. How many?
Lloyd's Athletic Club. Mike Seha, he's the official trainer of the Wheels of Justice. Go on down and visit him at Lloyd's Athletic Club.
That was a 5-point pass for the Betties before that jam called off. Deconstructor now on the jam line for the Breakneck Betties.
Super six-pack for Guns N' Rollers. Official timeout.
Well, these official timeouts, I'd like to take an opportunity and thank some of our sponsors. Portland Vital Signs, Brooklyn Community Acupuncture, Sattva Healthcare, Portland Independent Films, OSI, and the Jupiter Hotel.
How you doing over there, King?
Doing pretty good. I'd also like to take this opportunity to let everybody know that there's a black Ford F-150 Oregon Plate BQ UT that's blocking the fire lane. So please return to your vehicle and please move it immediately.
It's BQ.
Once again, that Oregon Plate was BQ UT, and it's a black Ford F-150.
Thank you.
So a bit of a change up here. Instead of putting GNR into the penalty box, we were taking them out for serving too many minutes. So that's nice. Mic checks. What are all those people doing out there?
Some of them are skating and skating impressively. Super six-pack knocked to the inside by the Betties defense.
Look at Havana Good Time to the rescue.
Smart move by Havana Good Time right there. Managed to draw the cut on Deconstructor. That's a major penalty since Havana Good Time was the last line of defense for the Guns N' Rollers.
Her quickness to get to the front and stop her, bring her back into the pack, and force that was amazing. Because Deconstructor was lead jammer, Super Six-Pack was not ineligible for lead jammer. That means we're going to go 2 minutes, Mike checks.
Scrappy Go Lucky called for a major cutting of the track. That is her 4th trip to the penalty box so far this half. Keep in mind that if a skater goes to the box 7 times or serves 7 penalty minutes, they are done for the bout.
Looks like Havana Good Time going for a major destruction of pack. If you break up the pack, you can sit down for a minute, and Havana Good Time's going to do just that, Mike checks.
Super Six-Pack attacking the back of the pack. Nice whip, and she is through.
That was an amazing whip. Sometimes they just look fancy, but that time had a really, really good impact.
That apparently a 4-point pass by Super Six-Pack.
Deconstructor back into the fold. 2 minutes are up, Mike checks. King!
Voodoo Donuts, come on down to Voodoo Donuts where the magic is in the hole. 2 locations in Portland, and they're open 24/7. That's the Voodoo Donuts.
Because they have a hole in the middle of the donut. I get it. That's good. That's really good.
I see what they did there.
That's funny.
Scald Eagle returns to the jam line for the Guns N' Rollers.
Sulfuric acid for Breakneck Betties. I like it when these two jammers go against each other.
Sulfuric acid finding a hole on the inside rail. She is through for lead jammer.
Scald Eagle with a huge forward up front, opens up a hole in the middle, initial pass for the Guns N' Rollers.
Frankenherder being sent to the penalty box for the Guns N' Rollers. Sulfuric acid calls off the jam after picking up 4 points for the Betties.
Visit TimothyMurrayPhotography.com for classic black and white film derby images. That's Timothy Murray Film Photography.
Joyride on the jam line for the Breakneck Betties.
Untamed Shrew. Act 2, Scene 1 for Guns N' Rollers.
Nice footwork by Joyride, staying in bounds on the outside lane. She picks up lead jammer status for the Betties.
Breakneck Betties with incredible defense up front. Scrappy Go Lucky, Scylla Devour, and Cadillac. That's about as good as it gets, Mike Checks.
Joyride, the benefactor of an offensive hit. 5-point pass for Joyride.
Hit to the outside by Scylla Devour, forcing Untamed Shrew to the back.
Squid Vicious now headed to the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box for the Guns N' Rollers.
Nice navigation by Joyride to the front there.
Nice defense by Juvie Hall and Harajuku Girl trying to hold back Joyride as Untamed Shrew now clear on her initial pass.
Nice offense by Scrappy Go Lucky picking off Juvie Hall.
Buffalo Gap Saloon and Eatery, John Landing's favorite eatery and saloon. That's the Buffalo Gap Saloon and Eatery.
Meow.
Meow up at the line. We got Scouts Honor jamming for Guns N' Rollers. And that is the end of the first period, ladies and gentlemen.
Already? All right, fans, we've got a minute left in the halftime. Let's go over some stats from the first half. For the Guns N' Rollers, Scald Eagle, the leading scorer with 24 points.
Leading the score for the Breakneck Betties, Deconstructor with 37. Sulfuric Acid right behind her with 30.
And Joyride with 23 points for the Betties. Now, as far as penalty issues go, Frankenherder has 3 penalties for the Guns N' Rollers. That is the most by any single skater. Squid Vicious also with 3 for the Guns N' Rollers.
Breakneck Betties, we got Lead Speaking Missile with 3. We got Scrappy Go Lucky sitting on 4. Those are the most for the Breakneck Betties. Breakneck Betties a total of 10 minutes in the penalty box so far. And an interesting note, Mike Checks.
We've got 14 total penalty minutes served by the Guns N' Rollers.
Would have been even if it weren't for that one round right there. But the Betties were able to capitalize.
Betties come back from the break sporting a 90-41 lead, but we've got 30 minutes in the second half clock. I just hit puberty, apparently. Sorry, Internet people.
You're welcome, Internet people. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we can't start without you, so make some noise if you want this bout to get going! You are way too quiet! Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise! See, you make noise and there's derby. I'm just saying.
Sulfuric acid jamming for the Breakneck Betties. Scald Eagle was the jammer for the Guns N' Rollers, but there was a cap pass to Untamed Shrew,
who is right behind Sulfuric Acid. Get your fist ready, ladies and gentlemen. This may end up being a scoreless jam. Or not. No, there's some points. You relax your fists.
Nice hit by Frankenherder, knocking Sulfuric Acid outside the front straightaway, but not before Acid picked up 3 points for the Betties.
2 picked up by Untamed Shrew for the Guns N' Rollers.
Hey, Randy Pan, do you know where Fire Marshal Bill likes to eat?
Where's that, the king?
Fire on the mountain. Buffalo wings to die for on Burnside and Interstate. That's fire on the mountain.
That's good to know, and I owe you $1, king.
Joyride on the jam line for the Breakneck Betties.
Super six-pack for the Guns N' Rollers. Nice defense there by the Guns N' Rollers.
Super six-pack now pushing against that four-wall of Betty blockers in the front of the pack.
Really nice defense. Betties have been dominating in the front all night long, Mike checks.
Scylla Devour pushing Super six-pack to the outside of the far straightaway.
Harajuki girl, last line of defense, but she gets juke. Minor back block for Joyride. She is not your lead jammer.
Scylla Devour dropping Super six-pack on the far straightaway. Six-pack quick to recover. Still working on her initial pass.
Pile up in turn 2.
Joyride through the pack. 5-point grand slam for the Breakneck Betties.
Pile up in turn 3 there. And I, too, am going through puberty.
Randy Pan just hitting puberty as well, apparently.
It's good. I'm glad we can go through this together.
Super six-pack battling once again against that front Betty's three-wall. That's Push Latouche, Shove Me, Tender, and Scylla Devour.
That's still her initial pass. And it looks like a major forearm there picked up by Super six-pack. Power Jam Breakneck Betties.
Joyride, meanwhile, continuing her scoring pass for the Breakneck Betties. Harajuki girl has to let her go.
Breakneck
5-point grand slam for Joyride, Randy.
Guns N' Rollers finally get up front. Good defensive positioning for them.
Joyride on the receiving end of a whip from Scylla Devour.
End of the jam, King!
OHSU Sports Medicine. Visit OHSUSportsMedicine.com for injury prevention, sports safety information, the community athlete profiles, including posts by your very own Rose City Rollers. That's OHSU Sports Medicine.
Deconstructor on the jam line for the Breakneck Betties.
Official timeout!
Super six-pack probably going to start this jam in the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box for the Guns N' Rollers. King?
Porque no?
Porque yes.
Amazing taqueria food with 2 locations on Mississippi and Hawthorne. That's Porque no?
Porque yes.
Well, while the officials are talking this over, I'd like to remind everybody, after this event, go on down to Kay's Lounge for the after-hour party. That's at 6903 Southwest Milwaukee Avenue, and buy your favorite roller derby girl a drink.
I was too late to get in there. It looks like a late penalty, though.
Guns N' Rollers blocker setting up shop in the front of the pack. Cadillac up trying to play some offense, as is Megahertz.
Looks like we have a cutting the track major, I believe that was set up front there. Mike checks.
Deconstructor, your lead jammer for the Breakneck Betties.
Frankenherder brought back to the pack.
Nice screen out front by the Princess Snide, allowing Deconstructor to get through on a 5-point scoring pass for the Betties.
Breakneck Betty's getting up front. One more to get past for Super six-pack. Who breaks her? That's her initial pass. Mike checks.
Frisky Sauer did a good job on defense in the front of the pack. Deconstructor calls off the jam after picking up 3 more points for the Breakneck Betties.
Lloyd's Athletic Club, the official sports fitness facility of the Rose City Rollers. That's Lloyd's Athletic Club.
Hey, King, Mike checks. It's not that I don't love you. I'm just going to spend the rest of the night hanging out with the Magic Pony Power section. These guys are a lot more fun. You guys are great. Don't get me wrong.
You know, Pony, if they'd let me, I'd hang out in the Pony Power Hour section.
You stay there, King.
Well, Randy Pan, we've got ourselves an official timeout. It looks like at the end of that jam, Frankenherder was sent to the penalty box. A late call in on a forearm major.
I appreciate you saving me a trip, Mike Checks. My quads are killing me right now from those stairs.
And it looks like we may have another Guns N' Roller blocker that needs to serve time in the penalty box. The penalty box, though, full of blockers. Henri O'Hooligan going to have a minute to serve.
So, 4-2 blocker advantage for the Betties.
Sulfuric acid jamming for the Breakneck Betty. Scald Eagle jamming for the Guns N' Rollers.
No package signal. That means you cannot block anyone. Lead jammer, sulfuric acid.
The Breakneck Betties have done a good job tonight cashing in on the blocker advantages they've been handled. Scald Eagle now clear on her initial pass.
Quick scoring pass there around the outside. Sulfuric acid calls off, takes the money, and skates.
The Rose City Rollers are proud to be Sports Buddy partners, encouraging youth to get out and get active. That's the Big Brothers, Big Sisters Sports Buddies.
Henri O'Hooligan was able to take her seat in the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box now. Again, 2 GNR blockers in the penalty box. Breakneck Betties at full strength.
Looks like Juvie Hall and Havana Goodtime trying to hold it down in front for Guns N' Rollers. Mike Checks.
Joyride jamming for the Breakneck Betties. Squid Vicious wearing the jam cap for the Guns N' Rollers.
All right. A nice attempt there by Juvie Hall, but Joyride shrugs it off and takes lead jammer. Mike Checks.
Squid Vicious still fighting against those Breakneck Betties blockers on her initial pass.
Well, there's a lot of them, is the thing. Nice bridging on their part, but Squid Vicious pushes it to the 20-foot mark. They got to let her go. Initial pass.
Joyride picks up a 4-point scoring pass and calls off the jam.
Team timeout called for Guns N' Rollers.
Nightlight Lounge, the Rose City Rollers' favorite Clinton Street bar and the only place to get Rose City Roller tickets in town. That's the Nightlight Lounge.
Remember, fans, team timeouts are brought to you by The Brew, the station where butt rock never dies. The Brew. Randy Pan, it looks like you're keeping some good company down there in the Magic Pony Power section.
You know who likes to party?
Who likes to party, Randy Pan?
Canada. Canada likes to party. Terminal City in the house, showing their love for Portland. We love you too, Canada. And I'll marry any one of you for your health care right now. I'm proposing to any of you.
We love Terminal City, too. They came out last night and bouted against the Heartless Heathers here at the hangar. But on the track tonight, right now, sulfuric acid jamming for the Betties.
And Scald Eagle for Guns N' Rollers.
Sulfuric acid out of the pack. She has lead jammer status.
Scald Eagle makes it out her initial pass. Both jammers poised to score. My Jacks.
Sulfuric acid attacking the pack on her scoring pass. Quickly calls off the jam, but not before she picks up a 5-point grand slam for the Betties.
Open Space Cafe, brunch, bar, Wi-Fi. Embrace the pace at the Open Space Cafe.
Apparently that was not a 5-point pass picked up and that jam, just a 4-point pass.
It happens. And in a turnabout here, we got a 4-3 blocker advantage for Guns N' Rollers. Guns N' Rollers fans, make some noise for your team! Lot of love coming from the Magic Pony Power section. Wait, say that one more time.
Squid Vicious jamming for the Guns N' Rollers. Deconstructor jamming for the Betties, but it's Squid Vicious! Out of the pack first with lead jammer status for the Guns N' Rollers. Frisky Sour being sent to the penalty box for the Breakneck Betty. Squid Vicious through the pack. 5-point grand slam, Guns N' Rollers.
This is exactly the jam that Guns N' Rollers needed. They needed their full squad out there. And the penalties are putting them in a good position to execute. Except...
Nice hit by Scrappy Go Lucky, knocking Squid Vicious to the inside of the far straightaway. No points on that scoring pass for the Guns N' Rollers. King?
Delta Cafe, amazing southern fare, big eats, and stiff drinks. That's the Delta Cafe.
4-2 pack advantage for Guns N' Rollers again.
Are you sure about that, Randy Pan?
I was having my vision checked, but I'm pretty sure.
Joyride jamming for the Breakneck Betties, playing some defense, trying to hold back Untamed Shrew, who's jamming for the Guns N' Rollers.
Great wall. Oh, there's the opening, and Untamed Shrew is through. She is your lead jammer.
Joyride not giving much up. She's out of the pack on her initial pass.
Now, we have 20 minutes left. This is plenty of time to mount a response for the Guns N' Rollers.
Fist in the air for ref solidarity. No score in that jam.
Let me see your fist, Magic Pony Power section. Let me see your fist in the air for ref solidarity. All right, you guys are fired from the Magic Pony Power section. You guys are out. You are the Magic Pony Power section. Let me hear from you. Yes, you. You are and shall remain the Magic Pony Power section.
Both teams starting out this jam with 3 blockers. Scouts Honor jamming for the Guns N' Rollers. Sulfuric Acid jamming for the Breakneck Betties.
Nice maneuvering up front. Sulfuric Acid pushes the 20-foot mark. She's your lead jammer.
Scouts Honor picking up a little bit of offense from Frankenherder, but Scrappy Go Lucky knocking Scout to the inside of turn 1.
Cannot tell a lie. Scout's Honor was recycled to the back. Nice bridging from GNR up there, Mike checks.
Scouts Honor recovering after going down in turn 3, attacking the pack once again. This is still her initial pass.
Another scoring pass for Sulfuric Acid. 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Scrappy Go Lucky giving the bad end of the business to Scout's Honor. Scout knocked to the outside of the far straightaway.
Scrappy does that a lot, Mike checks. You may have noticed.
Elite Speaking Missile giving a huge whip to Sulfuric Acid. Through for another 5-point grand slam for the Betties.
And then Lee blew a kiss to the audience afterwards. That's confidence. Juvie Hall, 20 feet out, has to give up ground. 5 more points for the Breakneck Betties.
Guns N' Rollers trying to switch their defense to the back. Lead Speaking Missile, though, opening up a hole in the wall for Sulfuric Acid. 5-point grand slam for the Betties.
And that's the jam, and it looks like we have a 100-point lead for the Breakneck Betties now.
Medical Massage Northwest happily rubbing away the aches and pains of all the Rose City Rollers. Medical Massage Northwest.
They're going to be busy tonight.
Untamed Shrew jamming for the Guns N' Rollers. Deconstructor jamming for the Breakneck Betties.
Doc Holliday on the outside pack raft. Oh, and around the outside. Deconstructor, lead jammer.
Betties have done a great job switching between offense and defense all night long. Cadillac holding back Untamed Shrew. However, she's out of play.
Fourth minor picked up there by Frankenhurter, I think. No, yes.
Super Six Pack being sent off the track, picked up a cut major. She's headed to the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box, Randy.
4 more points for the Betties.
Hey, Randy Pan.
What?
Let me tell you something. Fire on the Mountain has buffalo wings to die for on Burnside and Interstate. That's Fire on the Mountain.
Thank you for that information.
Joyride jamming once again for the Breakneck Betties. Scald Eagle wearing the jam cap for the Guns N' Rollers.
Round the outside, that is Scald Eagle, lead jammer. Magic Pony Power Section, put your wings in the air for Scald Eagle. I want to see the Scald Eagle wings for the Magic Pony Power Section.
Brady Punch being called
Thank
for
you.
a cut major. That's going to send her to the penalty box. Joyride out of the pack on her initial pass. And Scald Eagle putting 4 points on the Guns N' Rollers side of the board. King?
All of us here at the Rose City Rollers would like to give a special happy birthday to Sophia Poida. She's 8 years old today, and she decided to spend it here with us.
Aww.
So happy birthday, Sophia.
Happy birthday. You're great. Do you guys ever want to, like, just high-five Don Juan when he puts his hand in the air like that? I do.
Squid Vicious wearing the jam cap for the Guns N' Rollers. Deconstructor jamming for the Betties.
Cadillac leak-speaking missile, and already there's, fourth minor looks like it's being called. Mike checks.
Squid Vicious, not your lead jammer, though she is through the pack first. She picked up a minor forearm penalty.
Deconstructor hit to the inside by Havana Goodtime. Out of play, so Deconstructor calls off the jam, but not before Squid Vicious can score 4 points for the Guns N' Rollers.
Joe's Burgers. 4 locations, awesome burgers, and the official feeder of the Rose City Roller Volunteers. That's Joe's Burgers.
I like the Volunteers.
I would like to thank Joe's Burgers from the bottom of my stomach.
I like to thank the Volunteers from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, for Volunteers. We love Volunteers. The Magic Pony Power Section loves Volunteers. Do you not?
Scrappy Go Lucky sent back to her bench. Shove Me Tender voluntarily returned to the Breakneck Betty's bench.
Looks like we're going.
I believe Scrappy Go Lucky was out on the track with a pivot cap, and the Betty's pivot was already in the penalty box, Randy Pan.
Dude, Stella Devour maintaining pack integrity and doing a good job of it and having fun doing it too, Mike checks. Well played from Stella Devour there.
On a photo finish, sulfuric acid, your lead jammer, Scald Eagle, though, fighting against her.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for some great jammer defense. That's just fun. That's just a good time.
Fist
in the air for ref solidarity.
Portland Mercury, food, arts, and entertainment news you need. That's the Portland Mercury.
Shove Me Tender, who picked up an illegal procedure minor in that last jam, being sent to the penalty box.
And official timeout. And Frankenherder editorializing in front.
During this official timeout, I'd like to thank one of our very special sponsors, Bridgetown Chiropractic, the official bone cracker of the Rose City Rollers since 2006. That's Bridgetown Chiropractic.
I want to hear from the Magic Pony Power section. Make some noise. I want to hear from everybody else. Make some noise. And I want to hear total silence from the artist formerly known as the Magic Pony Power section. Too much noise. Too much noise. I want to hear nothing. Perfect. Thank you. All right. There's an official timeout. Something happened. Back to you guys.
Well, apparently number 51, Shove Me Tender, not headed to the penalty box. Joyride jamming for the Betties, fighting against that Guns N' Rollers 3-wall at the front of the pack.
You notice that the Betties have had their comfort zone in the front of the pack, mic checks. They have dominated up there.
Joyride still fighting against Scout's Honor at the front of the pack. Joyride is through, and she is your lead jammer.
That was great defense there up there with Scout's Honor, though. Nice one-on-one. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise if you love Squid Vicious. Please make some noise right now.
OHSU Sports Medicine. Visit OHSUSportsMedicine.com for injury prevention, sports safety information, and community athlete profiles, including posts by your very own Rose City Rollers. That's OHSU Sports Medicine.
Each team's leading scorer on the jam line. Sulfuric acid with 66 points so far for the Betties against Scald Eagle, who has 30 points for the Guns N' Rollers.
Nice defense from both teams, holding up. Two incredible jammers on the inside. Scald Eagle, lead jammer.
Guns N' Rollers defense pushing sulfuric acid outside of the far straightaway.
Oh, nice maneuvering. Inside, outside. 5-point pass by Scald Eagle.
It got really loud in here during Scald Eagle's scoring pass, which is good because I was stunned. I was speechless.
That's the initial pass.
5-point pass for Scald Eagle.
Initial pass for sulfuric acid. It's like a 4-3 pack advantage for Betties. Wow, nice run from Scald Eagle there.
The Rose City Rollers are proud to be sports buddy partners, encouraging young kids to get out and get active. Big brothers, big sisters, sports buddies.
I recommend roller derby for them. Just a thought. My knees hurt.
Betty starting this jam with a 4-3 blocker advantage. Sugar and Vice in the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box for the Guns N' Rollers.
And
Squid Vicious on the jam line for GNR. Deconstructor jamming for the Betties, Randy.
Deconstructor, nice maneuvering, finds a hole on the outside. Lead jammer for Breakneck Betty's mic checks.
Squid Vicious being held up at the back of the pack by that Betty's defense. She gets through on her initial pass.
Lot of love for Squid Vicious. This is our last night with Rose City, ladies and gentlemen, so give Squid Vicious a lot of love.
Harajuku girl out front. Some great positional blocking for the Guns N' Rollers.
Oh, and check it out! Squid Vicious with a 4-point scoring pass!
Deconstructor threw for a 4-point pass of her own and calls off the jam.
Hey, Guns N' Rollers want Squid to know how much they love her and how much they're going to miss her. So everybody make some noise for Squid Vicious, please.
Team timeout being called by the Breakneck Betties. Team timeout.
So I want the Magic Pony Power section to try to follow me out. All right, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Everybody else, I want you to do this move right here. We like to dance here at Rose City.
Northern Lights out on the jam line for the Breakneck Betties. Opposite Scald Eagle for the Guns N' Rollers.
I like that Scald Eagle. I see big things from her in the future. To the inside there, Northern Lights Out is your lead jammer.
Northern Lights Out picking up lead jammer status against Scald Eagle.
Looks like, was that a direction of play major call?
Lead speaking missile being called for the low block on that pileup. And it looks like Untamed Shrew picking up her 4th minor at the end of that jam. She's also headed to the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box, King.
Mike Seha. Go visit him at Lloyd's Athletic Club. He's the official trainer of the Wheels of Justice. That's at Lloyd's Athletic Club.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the music you've heard tonight, make some noise for Agent Meow!
Meow.
Do it right, Meow.
Deconstructor jamming for the Breakneck Betty. Scald Eagle jamming for the Guns N' Rollers.
I believe this is Scald Eagle's, I want to say 43rd jam tonight, Mike checks. You may have to check the stats for that.
Give or take 1 or 2, I think you're spot on there, Randy Pan. Frisky Sour holding back Scald Eagle, but Scald Eagle is your lead jammer.
Five minutes, just under 6 minutes here. Mike checks. Scald Eagle looking to just tear down that.
Deconstructor threw on her initial pass. Scald Eagle picks up a minor forearm penalty, her 4th minor penalty. That's going to send her to the penalty box.
Every minor counts.
Frankenherder being sent to the penalty box for the Guns N' Rollers as well.
Havana Good Time was sent, but can't leave the track. So, you know, stuff.
Havana Good Time now being sent to the penalty box for the Guns N' Rollers.
Deconstructor, in the meantime, hanging out, getting points.
5-point grand slam for Deconstructor.
Where the Breakneck Betties fans at? You got to be feeling pretty good, huh? They're internalizing it.
Super Six Pack and Juvie Hall out front trying to hold back Deconstructor, the only two GNR blockers on the track. Frisky Sour up to play offense.
Now remember, mic checks. The winner of this bout will take this second seed in semifinals, and they'll have to play the third seed, which will be whoever loses this bout.
Well,
So it's a very competitive thing we have going on here.
Northern Lights out, returning to the jam line for the for the Breakneck Betties. Guns and Rollers, Jammer Scald Eagle, starting this jam in the penalty box.
Not for long, though, mic checks. Look at that squid. Vicious defense in the front.
Scald Eagle picking up lead jammer status for the Guns and Rollers.
And she started in the penalty box. So that's no small thing. Untamed Shrew with the beautiful outside hit, mic checks.
Nice defense by Untamed Shrew and Squid Vicious. Untamed Shrew cycling up to knock Northern Lights out outside of turn one.
All right, 5 points by Scald Eagle. Magic Pony power section, wings in the air.
Havana Good Time now out front playing defense against Northern Lights out, who's still working her way through on her initial pass.
Havana Good Time. Having a good time with the jammer. They're cycling her to the back, mic checks.
Continued lockdown defense by the GNR blockers this jam.
A huge run. It's got to feel good for GNR right now, mic checks.
Scald Eagle working her way around Scylla Devourer and Cadillac on her way to another 5-point grand slam.
Northern Lights was whipped into Havana Good Time. Not a good place to be. Oh, come on. Don't stop till you get enough. Working every last second for that mic checks. Huge, huge jam for GNR.
Well, just because the clock's running down doesn't mean the party has to end. Come on down to Kay's Lounge after the bout. It's located at 6903 Southeast Milwaukee Avenue. You can buy yourself, me, and your favorite roller girl a drink. That's Kay's Lounge.
Team timeout being called by the Guns and Rollers. Deconstructor tonight so far with 67 points for the Betties.
That is bananas.
Scald Eagle with 54 points for the Guns and Rollers.
All right. This is the new dance craze, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to get on it. It's the official timeout dance. Everybody. I promise you we'll come back to this.
Napoleon blown apart, doing a great job down there, holding down the official timeout dance. Winnie the Pow wearing the jam cap for the Breakneck Betty. Super six-pack jamming once again for the Guns and Rollers.
Now, it looks like GNR going for the front right now, mic checks.
Super six-pack battling against that front wall. Brady Punch up for some offense.
Brady Punch with beautiful offense.
And it's Super six-pack picking up lead jammer status for the Guns and Rollers.
Guns and Rollers, you can tell they're feeling it right now, mic checks. They want to put the fear of GNR into the Betties because they will see each other again.
Sorry, Randy Pan. It looks like Winnie the Pal picking up 2 minutes, picked up a minor and a major.
But we only got a minute left, Mike Tex.
And another team timeout being called by the Guns and Rollers.
So that means we got to do the team timeout dance.
Well, while we're watching Randy Pan dance the night away, I just want to remind you all that in a few weeks on April 14th, Wheels of Justice are going to be taking on the Chicago's Windy City Rollers. This is the first bout since 2011 championships. You don't want to miss out because it's going to be at the Portland Memorial Coliseum. There's also going to be a pegacorn contest, so get your horns out and get ready for a big bout on April 14th.
That's going to be fun.
Well, Randy Pan, it looks like you're going to turn that team timeout dance into the official timeout dance once again.
All right, this time me and Don Juan are going to do the official timeout dance. Come on, skaters, get into it. Official timeout dance.
All right, everybody, get down and funky with the official timeout.
Magic Pony Power Section, do the official timeout dance. Everybody else, do the official timeout dance. Everybody put your wings in the air for Scald Eagle.
Well,
Remix!
well, fans, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that number 94 for the Breakneck Betties, Scrappy Go Lucky, has picked up her 7th trip to the penalty box, meaning she will no longer skate in this bout. Scald Eagle jamming for the Guns and Rollers. Remember, Winnie the Pow in the penalty box serving 2 minutes from the last jam.
Scald Eagle! Lead jammer!
Lead!
Oh, nice hit
Nice
from
hit by
Silver.
Scylla Devour, knocking Scald Eagle to the inside.
She's good, that Scylla Devour. Oh! Takes it licking! Keeps on ticking! 5 points, Scald Eagle!
Don't cry. Scald Eagle picking up 5 points for the Guns and Rollers. And another grand slam for the Scald Eagle.
Oh! Big hit from Scylla Devour! Wow, what a hit that was!
Scylla Devour not to be outdone, knocking Scald Eagle, recycling her to the back of the pack. Scald through the pack, another 5-point grand slam, Guns and Rollers.
Fourth minor for Squid Vicious. 5 points for Scald Eagle.
An amazing final jam to this bout. Scald Eagle attacking the pack one more time. Cadillac and Megahertz trying to hold her back. We're all wasted. Amazing. Holy cow. What about Randy Pan?
Indeed. If only these two teams can play each other again soon.
We're going to wait and make sure that is the official final. But fans, I can tell you the Breakneck Betty's victorious this evening. Fans, make sure you stick around for the presentation of the Team MVP Awards, which will be happening momentarily. Breakneck Betties, with their victory tonight, seal up second place in the Rose City Home League regular season. They will be facing the Guns N' Rollers in the semifinals. We are going to have an epic rematch between these two teams. Your other semifinal bout, of course, the Heartless Heathers and the High Rollers. Fans, thank you so much for coming out. Remember, we have the MVP Awards momentarily.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. It's time to announce the MVPs.
Oedipus, are we final, sir?
All right. I've got Scrappy and Push and Juvie Hall. Scrappy and Push, who for the Guns N' Rollers was tonight's MVP?
We felt like someone who was out there just killing it all night as a jammer and a blocker was Untamed Shrew.
Untamed Shrews, GNR's most valuable player. And Juvie, you get to announce tonight's MVP for the Breakneck Betties, and because they're the winning team, they get a special prize of a $100 Grizzly tattoo. Juvie Hall, who's your MVP?
GNR decided that newly returned skater Megahertz was a force on the track tonight.
All right, give it up for Megahertz. And Megahertz, for being on the winning team, you get a Grizzly tattoo, $100 gift certificate. Thank you, everybody, for showing up tonight. Don't forget to go to Kay's Bar for the after party.